Good evening, people, and welcome back to yet another late night live stream here on the D-Hall channel. I do hope you're all doing well this night. After a long Thursday, I'm sure. Because it was for me. Very busy. Well, now that we're done with the 100-line demo, we can get back to good old Ace Attorney. Or Reliable. Everyone's favorite. So in terms of other games I'm interested in playing for you guys in the near future, Xenoblade X is nearing release. Xenoblade X Definitive Edition. I did play the original on Wii U many years ago, but there's new content, lots of QOL. I think I'll have a good time. Okay. Well, enough of that. Let's continue. The Clouded Kokoro. I should probably just do this. Yeah. Okay, so I believe, yes, we are dealing with these jurors who want a guilty verdict so bad that they all unanimously voted guilty. And they're racist. Let's see, now we have to pit them against each other, make them fight. Okay, this doesn't really tell me much. Press. Excuse me, but aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face, or the sight of it anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? Banker who is in a lot of debt. That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. It was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Yeah, I pegged you guys all right. Oh well, you know, water under the bridge. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around. The police have been badgering me non-stop. If I could turn back the clock... Well, anyway, I don't know about the Hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. I'm free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. This guy just has a hate boner for me. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
Hold it!
You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing moustache is the culprit. But let us not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the victim. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think you would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? Excuse me. Look at you putting on your fucking makeup in the middle of a trial. I could tell could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could possibly have committed this awful crime. Alright, we'll just ignore this porcelain doll for now. Ugh. No one else could have done it. The accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you are too kind, my lord. That went well for her. Okay. Man wouldn't have gone around houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
Hold it!
He did, right? Went the long way around. But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh yes, like you do on the map, you mean? Oh, what was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes. Why is all this true? No, we're getting owned here. So seriously. Oh, so really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went down along Briar Road. I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash Roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. A reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home. I don't exactly know that yet. Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'd be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. It's you.
Hold it!
Whatever's the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? The landlord, yes. The master's wife? Where did you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid, you understand? She's keeping up that charade. Ugh, this is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday, that you've been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean? I was not told to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been a little over a week now. And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Oh my goodness me, yes, he's just the sort. Oh, God. What? You're not helping, woman. Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room sporting that unscrupulous moustache. What's wrong with his moustache? The man never speaks. Don't get me started on those shifty eyes, although neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? Well, I'm sure it doesn't help not having windows in your apartment. He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... It's okay, Natsume. We would love you if you were a worm. Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She's said enough damning things already. Alright, boxer. You pugilist.
Hold it!
Man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. Ah. The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat. Neither do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're like in the what's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. After cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it, it's a hard slog from dawn till dusk. It is. I like how they spell center the British way. So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. Wait, you were digging up the road? Briar Road, perhaps? What? Another coincidence? Perhaps that is a reason why he would avoid that road. That's right. Meerschaum Street it was. Oh, okay. Let's look up the map here. Yes. You would not take Briar Road in that case because that street is blocked. Easy. Now we can pit him against that blonde twink. Meerschaum Street. On the map, Mr. Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. What's the point in that? Can we just get this business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. Fine, I'll do it then. Alright. Taking up Meerschaum Street from dawn till dusk. Alright, very important. Alright. The last guy. What do you have to say? Sorry? Fold it, you say? Fold what? This guy. No. What I said was, hold it. What I wanted to ask you was, do you visit Your Books often? Your Books? I'm pretty sure the shop owns them. I'll be here all night, folks. I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And at what time did you visit Your Books on the day in question? Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. Just before 5, you say? I'm getting deja vu. Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh, yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. Really thought my number was up. Wait, this guy's in the green coat. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road? That's right, I live in Cornpipe, you see. Cornpipe. That can't be a real name. Or a neighborhood. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from Your Books. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant. Sorry? Extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now. We're so cooked. It sends a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective. Hey, what's up, Niv? Cornpipe strikes me as a crazy name considering Corn came to the New World and this is totally the UK. You're right. And regardless of where corn came from, just like, why pick corn pipe? What the fuck even is a corn pipe? Pipe made of corn? Some like chronic smoker found some corn. It's like, ooh, what is this new world ingredient? Let me make a fucking pipe out of this. I don't know. Or is it a metal pipe that you you just fill with corn? I feel like most, oh, not most, but a lot of the times you'd name your like town after whatever industry or craft it's known for or something like that, or a guy's name. The fuck is a corn pipe? Pops the corn? Ah, yes. Popcorn. Popcorn machine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume, if anything. That's something. We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruhodo. Cunningly. Cunningly. Yes, you're right. Just listen to the jurors again carefully. Yes. Fight, fight, fight. Fight, fight, fight. Alright, you are useless. A woman in green, okay. We'll do you first, I guess. No, I didn't want to press. That was not the right button. Yeah. Put on your makeup. Why is she always doing those, like, kissy lips? Okay. Pit. I'll pit you. I'll pit you.
Objection.
Still a weak objection. Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. Flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2. Juror number 6. My, whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Yes, he wouldn't have seen his face since he was behind him. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we are all well aware of this, but the poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously. Ooh, cringe bots. Get him out of here. Thanks, Niv. I'm quick on the draw. Can we be really sure of that, madam? My, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. Oh my! My goodness, you mean? That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting? How very convenient that some of our jurors are basically witnesses. Well, not really witnesses to the crime, but like very tied up in the situation, you know? The person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today. That is entirely possible, yes. Yeah, relevant. Look, I thought most of the time the jurors would just be randos, you know? Because, I mean, more often than not, that's what happens in the jury, right? Just a bunch of randos. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Ooh. I don't know if that's a bigger insult to the man or the victim. Well, look at that. My goodness me. Sorry? Do you need a pee? Yes. I need to pee. And crucially, you know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Knotsway saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly, the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my! You idiot old man, if you haven't been so daft as to be roaming about there, we'd have boxed this off hours ago. Really? What were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it? Yes, more powder. That'll surely help. My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but you'd like to change your leaning, I presume. I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Thank you. And I would too. What? Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well? No, it's not. I would much like that, actually. Thanks, racist woman. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful. Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least, strengthen our position somewhat. Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one more clue. Yeah, I did already. Don't worry. Yes, that's exactly what we got to do. Van Zieks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal. All right. You. Fight you.
Objection!
Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another. At odds, counsel? Explain yourself. Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. What? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3? Oh, me, sir? What do you mean? Dude, the walk I do back and forth? That's some aura there, you know? It's emanating from him. Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meerschaum Street, making it impassable, which means the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meerschaum Street or down Briar Road. Oh, yes, of course. Well, what do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right, eh? Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Yes! My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may? Yes? I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. This guy's all right. At least he's not racist. This twink is safe from obliteration. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Balanced. What about you, sir? Who, me? Well, alright then. There's a hole in the prosecution's argument. It should be filled in, that's what I say. Yeah, we'll fill those holes. Yo, Sandy. Good to see you. Been a while, huh? Well, its initial examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The eyes 2, the nose 4. The nose have it. Not guilty, they say. Been busy? Yeah. It do be like that sometimes. Does feel nice to be missed. Means my stream is worth doing. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. Trial will continue.
Objection!
You better fill your holes, Van Zeeks, or else I'll fill them for you. This fucker... How many chalices do you have? How is his hand not bleeding? Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection, only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks? Seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Excuse me? Eh? Whatever do you mean?
Objection!
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of pavement which you had excavated, sir. That's right. It took me the whole day, and they paid me a measly 2 pence for it. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. Actually, what did Japan use during this time? I don't know if meters was like a thing. Surely it was a thing, right? How long have meters been in use? The metric system. I don't even know this. Did Japan have their own like proprietary measurement system? Okay, they did use meters for sure. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters. That's not much at all. I'm sure the adoption of meters was like very recent though, right? Like basically they weren't using it until they first were contacted by the West. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. July 1st, 1924. Yeah, that seems to be around this time period, right? Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? What's up with that, like, arm curl he does? So flexing? Stress flexing? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? Did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had hope of passing anyway, and we just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town. Really? You think that man can fucking jump 2 meters? Or 2 yards? Ah. Is that true? Is it? Bro is not an athlete. The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that along his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Ugh. Crushed in a single sentence. What do you mean crushed? You're just like bullshitting that he jumped over the roadwork. This guy's saying that Natsume is a long jump like track athlete here. Hello? And old man. Like, Natsume is a bookworm. He's a nerd. He's an unathletic nerd. Cold man, can you talk? You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time? Oh, I can't say I remember. You don't remember? Who looks behind them at all times? You're also old. Makes sense if you wouldn't remember. How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw. But I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Ah! Orar. Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. Natsume is short too, yeah. His legs are fucking stubby, my lord. You had such trenchant arguments up your sleeve. Why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. Ugh. My hospitality has its limits. They have been reached, I feel. Oh, there we go. The cape's off. Stripping. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What are you talking about? My lord. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witness to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. It's next witnesses? Multiple. Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? I've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember, one of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. All right, no matter who Van Zieks brings to the stand as his witness, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over. You gotta believe. Oh, hello. You're... Huh. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. You are fucking asleep, sir. He's like gnawing on his strap. Hello? I don't think we can trust this guy's testimony. Constable Rolly Beat, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir. Rolly Beat? What's the joke? And he's asleep again. Oh, they're husband and wife. I thought they were siblings. They have like the same eye color and everything. I'm Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife. Young couple, huh? Sure, proud. What's the story here? Well, in truth, we have not been married long. Siblings are dating. I guessed wrong. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. We have matching scarves. How cute. No, it was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Oddly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Indeed, apart from rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know? They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that the meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our streetlights. I feel like you should hire more people for those jobs, man. Like, you ever heard of a janitor? There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. They collect taxes? Surely you can hire a tax guy for that. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago. But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor. And Bobby is such a funny name. For like a occupation. Yeah, I'm a Bobby. And a man of slumber. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat? That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly? Constable Rolly Beat, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir. That's all he says. What a great witness he's going to be. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You'll tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir. And he's fucking dead again. It was our wedding anniversary and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. The fucking glitter in your eyes. What, are you like a magical girl or something? You look like you'd be a fairy type Pokemon trainer. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and then the other scattered something before running off. We went straight over, of course, and then we went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man at the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day. Really? Also, she was the only one who talked. Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events you established in the summation examination will be quashed. It's death knell, in fact, because that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate chancing. And on your wedding anniversary, too. Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed. Indeed, however, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witness, saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. And one of the witnesses is a policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking. No preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. All right. What did you see?
Hold it!
No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. Beat? Oh no, certainly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply. Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can you? I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down to the ground, doesn't it, darling? Fucking yoinked him. What? I just finished my beat. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. I don't think... You know, they say everyone is someone's type, but I don't think I know anybody whose type is comatose. Oh no, Rolly, I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy. Huh. So are you in love with the man or the uniform? Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you'd finished your beat for the day, correct? That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. The policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm a proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the end. What's that now? My word card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. has the noble founding principles of force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty to patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear. All Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. I don't know why that took me a minute to process. So fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. You just walk around. But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show my true wife how much I care. Oh. Ew. Icky, gross. In all seriousness, this is funny. Oh my god, the way they fucking look at each other. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Oh my god, I get it. Patrolly. Because they're patrolling. Ah, okay, yeah. You have to put them together. Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold. If a little over the top, perhaps? And then kindly describe what happened next. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared at... Yeah. Silhouettes, huh? Two silhouettes. That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction. What does it remind me of? Me when I played Portal 2 with a friend? Or Papuko in PvP? Pop Team Epic? It was a rather plump figure followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That does sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print, like Mr. Natsume. Yes, unfortunately it does. You're certain that at that time there was nobody else nearby. Oh yes, I'm certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights on Briar Road, you see? There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling? Yoink. You're gonna fucking strangle him one day. Break his neck. Oh yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. Briar Road is dead straight and you can see a fairly long way down the pavement. And there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians. Before sleep takes firm hold, your answer please, Mr. Beat. Are you quite sure of what you just said? Yes, sir. That's a couple who spends all day every day keeping watch on the streets. I swear to it, sir. She's so into this. Her type is comatose cop. I'm sure, as my love for Patricia is true. Bleh. Bleh. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. In court, I know. Some people have no shame. No shame. They're still maintaining there was no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened. It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run. Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. Yeah. PDA. PDA in court. Somebody kicked them out immediately. Sorry, give me a sec, guys. Okay. One of them collapsed on the floor.
Hold it!
Scattered something. Scattered something? What do you mean by that? Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling? You're gonna break his neck at some point, man. What? Oh, yes, that's right. It was some old books. I see, old books. Not looking good for us. Yes, sir. The culprit dropped a number of them all around where the victim lay on the pavement. Indeed. It's clearly pictured in this photographic print. Look at this photograph. The rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed. Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. We saw him. It was the man in the dock without question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, cat-like eyes, top mouth, snub nose, everything. Any more insults you want to throw in? That's right. He looked down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes, then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away. I see. This is tough. It seems as though they're telling the truth here. Oops. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the history? Here it is. This unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Sure. The very reliable policeman who's more than halfway asleep. And there he goes again.
Hold it!
Was it your husband who went to fetch help? No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am a proud wife of one, after all. Isn't that right, my darling? What? Oh, yes, that's right. As Mrs. B to go. I was off duty by that point. But Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Guard the scene. Sure didn't just fall asleep? Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to send where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box? The woman's stab wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia to wait in the police box with a beat the incident fell under so that she could go and report it. Honestly, that guy is like a pretty good representation of how I feel sometimes. Like if I'm streaming super late and I've had a busy day, I'm just sitting at my desk about to knock out, man. I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know. I'm sure there's something more potent than that. Oh my, you're making us blush, isn't he, darling? Yes, sir, what Patricia said, sir. Let's move on, shall we?
Hold it!
Surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas streetlamps, would you? We absolutely could, as Londoners of exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know. Right. Light from the street lamps is more than enough. Oh my god, you're gonna fucking kill him. Husband already told you the fog was only light. Right. Famous for it across the globe, I believe. It's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course. Oh, it is, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see that hand and then your arm. Yes, alright, I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? His neck is strong. Yeah. You basically married a chiropractor, I guess. Now I'm feeling tired looking at that guy falling asleep. I'm like, man, could be me right now. Tell you for sure and certain that it was that Japanese man you saw. Can't we, darling? What? Yes, it was the accused and no mistake. Yep. As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. Soseki-san, they saw him running away from the scene of the crime. That's it? That's their current testimony. Their entire testimony. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Well, I'll have to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they say they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day. Yes, I do feel the same. So if that's true, where does it leave us? Members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. Oh no. When do we do? Kazuma-sama over here. What are you trying to say? I think we should try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony. What do you mean, somewhere else? Statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. All right. But simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy. Yes, yeah. I know how to find discrepancies. Oh, what is this? Oh, yes, of course. What is it? Oh, this one's new. Oh, he's throwing hands. Wait, no, it's not him. It's it's the girl. This one's cute. I like this one. No, it's really not that at all. I remember every last detail, everything. Like, oh, I know. What about the books and the books the man dropped? No, it won't do it all. The Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Oh, if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Roly will. Thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? Alright. This one should be simple enough, right? Just contradict it with the receipt. What are the 4 books? Tell me now. Tell me now. I'm not even gonna read this. What's your husband doing at this time? He's flying face down in the snow? He's sleeping outside? Hello? Why is he even here? Work so hard, don't you, my darling? Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime. Mr. Beat, seeing as you regaled the quote tells you your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount all the titles of the books you observed at the scene? I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? There was the picture of Monsieur somebody over, and what's it, yearnings? There's a... Meal for someone, and the last one was definitely Thingummies something. Thingummies? Or is it Thingummies? Yes, I see there are one or two holes in your memory. There were indeed books pronounced Thingamies. Thingamies? Thingamies something. I don't even know what the word means. Yes. Alright, what's the receipt? Yeah, Canterbury yearnings, not thingamajigs. Oh my god, he just got a fucking gun in court. Yo, trigger discipline, hello? Can some... Is that allowed in here? Bailiff? Security? Terrifying. Yes, she really is. So that's it then. Their entire testimony? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from that scene on Briar Road that day. Yes, I feel the same. So that's true. Where does it leave us? The books. Oh no, then what do we do? Kazuma over here? What are you trying to say? I think you would try to find a contradiction. Ugh. Somewhere else. Yeah. I know what contradicts, but... we won't be doing that for a bit. I think I am too tired to continue. I'm feeling like a rolly beat right now. I'm beat myself. So let's save here. Save after we finish this. Go around. Okay, thank you. Faster. You're welcome, Niv. Thanks for stopping by. It's always nice having you. Okay, options. Save. Alrighty. We will continue this next time. Thank you all for watching. Next stream is going to be more Ace Attorney. Look forward to it. Alrighty. Well, that's it for me. Forgot if I said thank you, but if I didn't, thank you again. Hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves and be well. I'll see you later.